Rahu. That would be the topic today. I have started this as the first series because I see Rahu as the future. So it tells us what is there in the future. It tells us where we are going to go in this life. Where the Ketu tells us the past, Rahu tells us the future of it. No wonder it has been given all the signification of the latest things like communication, any latest device that comes up. So all these things are given to Rahu. So it talks about the future. So that's would be the right way to start. Okay, because we all want to see how we proceed to our moksha or to the future. So what I'm trying to do is giving you a comprehensive image about Rahu. It tells you the signification about it and how important Rahu plays a role in our life, how 12 houses and its effects, and possible common remedies, and conclusions based on the timings, how we can identify some of the timings, and we can do. I'll be trying to use Dasabhukti as well as ALP. To me, what happens is ALP gives me a better response in terms of accuracy of the time compared to Dasabhukti. Okay, so that's why I will use ALP also as a method to explain. So for those who don't know much about ALP, I would suggest you go some of my videos. In that I would explain what is the basics of ALP. You'll have to pick up from there and you have to analyze and then start reading it. Okay. So let's go ahead with the ALP's concept also. Now let's see. So Rahu, the moment we say Rahu, we all get scared. We all get scared. Why do we get scared? Because we don't know what it will do, and at least that is a fear. And second thing is we have been given, it has been depicted as a snake without a body. Okay, so that gives us a kind of fear factor to us. Okay, agreed. So Chaya Graha, it is also known as Chaya Graha or shadow planet. In fact, there is nothing called as planet in the Indian astrological terms. Okay. It's called Graha. Graha is basically something where there is a calculation, where there is some kind of energy that is stored, or it has got some kind of value that is stored. That way, moon is not a satellite for us. That is also a graha. Sun is also a graha for us. Even the Rahu Ketu is also grahas because they hold certain values or significations are there for that, and that is represented through that. So you don't need a physical thing to call it a graha. Okay, so that is how we call it graha. They are not planets. They are grahas where it's something like in Hindi we say आपने ग्रहण कर लिया क्या मतलब have you understood, have you picked up on the point that I said? ग्रहण, सूर्य ग्रहण, it has caught the sun. Chandra grahan, it has caught the moon. So that's how you have to understand grahas. Okay, so in that terms, when you look at Rahu as a graha, you are talking about a point in the somewhere where it has got certain significations. Okay, so when it is in the north node, it is called Rahu. When the south node, it is called Ketu, and these are supposed to be causing the eclipse. Wherever they cause the eclipse when the sun and moon, earth all pass through this particular graha's position, they cause eclipse. So they are capable of eating away the sun or eating away the moon. That's how they are so powerful in their own ways. Okay, signification. What does Rahu generally mean? Rahu generally means a lot of desire because you are going to the future. So a lot of materialism. So worldly attachment. Okay. So these are all something you always want to be called success in the material, and you want to be very powerful. Okay, then you want to. It is all you don't even understand that. Okay, it's something like If you literally speak and you try to understand, if we say Ambani, for example, he is super rich. Okay, super rich. And is it, if you practically look at, is it possible for a human being to become such super rich? Okay, it is high, next to impossible. Okay, but the planetary positions are such that make them such rich personalities. So once a person dies, what is the value for this? There is hardly any value for him. Okay, he might be remembered by people as Ambani, but he might not be remembered for the money value that he had. Okay, so this is what, it's all illusion, right? It is only once you die, that's the end of it. Okay, so that's how Rahu will position. So it will give you big things, okay, mega things. It will give you like richness like that, richness of Modi winning the parties or the Indian state elections. These are something that you will find. Okay, they will give you that kind of exponential development. It could be on the good side and it could be on the bad side. One thing that we all have to notice is Rahu, when you're talking about, we are talking about the future. Okay, when you're talking about the future, there is always an uncomfortable area where you don't want to go. Okay, not all of us will resist to the changes. But Rahu, the more you resist, the more problems it will create. The more you leave it and you start accepting the fact and start moving on, Rahu will start working with you because it has to go forward and it does not want you to stop it. Okay, so you have to accept this as a fact and start working out with Rahu to have a better future. Okay, most of us will lose a job in Rahu Dasa to tell us the importance of other areas in life. And many people there are a lot of quite a number, they'll become super rich, but at the end of Rahu, they will learn the pain of becoming super rich so fast. So Rahu will do that. Its job is to put you into the next stage. That is why when Ketu is in the 12th house, which is called as Moksha Sthana, Rahu will be in the 6th house because you have to do that karma to reach the 12th house. So you look forward in Rahu, Ketu will tell you where you have to, from where till what time, from where you have come, from where you have to go. Okay, so these are the basic concepts that you have to remember as far as Rahu is concerned. Okay, it is considered to be a malefic planet. It will give you a lot of challenges. Many times what happens is, while reading charts, especially when Rahu comes in, the accuracy of the reading will change a lot. We will think he might go in the left. All you know that he will take the right hand. We will think he will become super rich because of the combination of the planet. He will do exactly the opposite side. So Rahu will do exactly up to opposite what we are thinking, until unless you accept that whatever way he is showing for the betterment, and you start working along with it with a bit of cautious, because he will give you loans. He will make you to take loans. People will come and give you loans. Come on, guys, have loan. The bank guys will come and go. And once you take the loan, you will not be able to repay. And then those guys will make your life hell. And that's how you understand that Rahu will create. Sometimes what people will escape from that area itself when Rahu Dasha is running because of the loan people. They will run away from there and they will come back once the Guru Dasha starts pay off the loans, and then they will go. So this how bad Rahu can be to all of us. Okay. So it is there is a different thought in saying which place it is stronger. Generally, Taurus it's said to be strong, and Scorpio it's supposed to be in the weak, exalted and debilitated is what is the general understanding. Okay, some people will go to Gemini, some people will say Gemini and it will be the stronger. So this is something that is controversial. People, generally speaking, this to my experience, Taurus seems to be good. So if you have another option, please go ahead and try that out if it works for you. For me, it didn't work. Okay. So let's look into the next step. Rahu period and doshas. So Rahu period, generally Rahu Dasa or Bhuktis. So these are very trying times, depending on the plan, where the planet is positioned. What will happen is it'll teach you something new. So it is that's how effective Rahu will be in that particular time. Supposing you have Rahu in the second house and your Dasa Bhukti is running there, then the second house things will get affected, and whichever nakshatra is sitting, based on that the effect will be felt. When it comes to ALP, Akshalagna Patni concept, what happens is if the ALP falls onto one of these Rahu's nakshatras, okay, so you have this Ardra, you have Shatabhisha, you have this Swati. So if it falls on that, okay, so depending on which house it falls and which house it is affecting, and how how the Rahu is placed. Supposing Rahu is placed 12th to the nakshatra, wherever the nakshatra rasi is there. Supposing it is there in Cancer, if the LP is falling on Cancer, okay, so then you can say if Rahu sitting in the 12th might not have so much of effect, probably will give you a broad journey, okay, because there is no Rahu nakshatra there. But same thing when you talk about Gemini, there is Ardra, which is Rahu nakshatra, and if it is Rahu is sitting in the 12th, it can give you a broad, it can give you trouble also. Okay, there's something or less bhavas also, we have to keep that also in mind, because that also plays a very great information and change. Okay, that is taught to us in the advanced ALP, and it very clearly will show you a lot of information. It needs a bit of analysis skills and experience to understand that. So it is there, but it can show you that. So there are a lot of doshas. Okay, so the doshas means pitru doshas, and those are all common to Rahu. Okay. Then ninth house is basically the pitru, and if Rahu sits there, then obviously you have a pitru dosha. Okay. Then what happens is Rahu, when it's sitting there, it wherever whichever house it could be in according to LP, or could it be according to the regular Dasha Bhukti or Natal, wherever it's sitting there, it will make a solid change in your life, so that you start looking life in a different light, and you start valuing things in life. Okay. So there are two ways to look at it. Either you go through the pain and learn it, or accept the fact and start moving out and start learning. Rahu will help you to learn that a lot in a better way. So how did this Rahu form? So the Rahu is actually, the story goes on saying, there was a person by the name Sarvabhanu. Okay, Sarvabhanu was born to one mother called Shimshika. He was born to that. So she was married to a person, another demon by the name, or Asura by the name Viprasiddha. So he was born. He gave a child birth, and that is called Saurabhanu. From the young age, he was known to be very brilliant, and he was able to think about certain things that normal people won't think. Okay, that's how his thought process was. In fact, the Samudra Manthan concept was started by Saurabhanu. Okay, he told that if you churn the ocean, the cosmic ocean, you will get lot of things. From that, you will get Amrit. Okay, that's how he is the one who starts off the churning of the ocean. So in that process is what the tortoise comes as the base, Meru comes as the mountain for as a churning stick, and for the rope, Vasuki comes as the snake. And then when churning is what Vasuki splits snake venom, which Vishnu takes in, and the halal that comes out, which Shiva takes up. Then Lakshmi comes out, which Vishnu accepts her as a wife. And finally, what you call Kalapur, this thing, what you call Kamadeva, Kalpuriksha comes. All this thing comes out of the churning of the ocean. And at that particular time, what happens is also this Amrit comes. Once the Amrit is, that was the ultimate thing. Something like drilling oil and you hit the oil. So the ultimate thing is Amrit, because you can live forever without dying. So that is what they get. And what they decided was we will distribute it. The idea was to distribute it between asuras and devas. But they never wanted to give it to the asuras. Okay, this is not right, ethically speaking, but they didn't want to give it because asuras were not so disciplined as devas. Okay. So there are Mahavishnu plans. He says, okay, I will become a Mohini and I will go and serve. So what he does, he takes the Amrit and he goes and says, everybody sit left or right, I will go give the, I will go there. Mohini comes in as a beautiful damsel. The moment people see them, all the Ashura says, they say, okay, you give, no, because that's how Ashuras are. So Vishnu as Mohini goes and starts distributing the, what we call the somas to all the devas. So as they keep on consuming one by one, they become immortal one by one. Then so Bhanu finds out that they're doing something unfair, and he disguises himself as devas and goes sits among the devas. And Vishnu, without noticing it, gives him the Amrit or the somas. So he consumes, the moment he consumes it, next to that is what your sun and moon were sitting to, Swarmabhanu. And they tell Vishnu that, hey, he is not Deva, he is Ashura. Then Vishnu becomes angry and he takes his Sri Chakra and allows it to go and cut his head. By the time he has consumed the Amrit. So once he cuts it, what happens is his head comes up and body becomes separate. And that's how the head portion is called Rahu, the tail portion is called Ketu. Okay, so in astrological format, Rahu faces the universe, Ketu towards the sun. So the amount of information Ketu has got is limited between sun and the earth. That means all the actions that you have done, those actions are recorded into Ketu, and that is why Ketu is also identified as Chitragupta, who is the account keeper of all our karmas. Rahu on the other side looks at the space and he has got the entire space there. So he does not know where to go, how to go. Okay, that's how his perspective is. Imagine you see the number of galaxies there, and you have so much of planets there, so much of information going there. And from this side, Ketu has got only from the earth to the sun. That is what information. So compared to earth and sun, even though it is a humongous amount of knowledge, still what Rahu can see or consume becomes exponentially high. You don't have limit for what he can see. That is what we say him seeing as the future. Another prominent factor about Rahu, what happens is he does not have a neck. From the neck, so there is no stomach. So whatever he eats, he'll be eating like a what you call some of those people who keep on munching around whatever they see they eat. No, that's the kind of character here Rahu will be. Rahu will be consuming anything that you talk about. It will be consuming. Then what will happen is it will consume and it will not even go to the stomach. So it is like aimlessly moving around. Aimlessly moving around. So only way you can make it aligned is to controlling through Ketu, because Ketu is much more stable. The distance between earth and sun is limited. It's there, it does not have a head, so it cannot think. But if you control Ketu at 180 degrees, Rahu also will get controlled. Okay, so that is what is the essence. So this is what you have to keep in mind. So Rahu is the future and it can tremendous amount of knowledge it has got, but how you train is through the Ketu and get your goals achieved. So sage Kashyap was the father of Hiranyakashyap. Hiranyakashyap was the first Ashura is what the record says. So Hiranyakashyap's daughter, okay, so Hiranyakashyap's son Kashyap, he weds to a lady called Diti, who is also the goddess for Asilesha, ancestral mother of all Asuras. Simsika was the daughter of Diti. Okay. To this Diti and Kashyap is what Ragu was born, or the Sarvabhanu was born. Once the Sarva was born, he was actually, his Simsika was married to Viparisiddhi. That, as I said already. So Sarvabhanu was born. At the time of distribution of Amrit, as disguised as goddess Mohini, Vishnu does it when he sits into the in between the devas to consume the Amrit, between the sun and God, and Vishnu cuts the head. That's how Rahu and Ketu were born. Okay, that's the brief history about their parentalhood and other things. Okay, so importance in Vedic is Rahu is treated as malefic planet. So it is very difficult to handle Rahu in astrological terms because its behavior is so weird, and as I told you, it looks at the whole universe. So from whatever little brain that we have, for us to see the way Rahu is immensely difficult. Okay. But still we will try to do justice with whatever understanding we can do with Rahu, because we cannot compete with Rahu at any choice, because he knew if you do the ocean churning, you will get Amrit. So that's the kind of knowledge bank he has got. So, as I said earlier, Rahu is strong in Taurus and weak in Scorpio. Future is what we see, and we all fear for changes. And future, when you want to do, the changes is what you will not ready to be. You will not be readily accepting it, and that will cause you a lot of pain in Rahu Dasa. Okay, so supposing you lose a job in Rahu Dasa, okay, most likely you will not get a job easily, and you will be hunting around to find a job, and you will never look at working as a consultant or as a business or some other line of knowledge that you want to pick up, even that will be pick up, and you will still be stuck with the old knowledge that you have, and you don't want to move out, and it will destroy your ambitions in life. And not only that, the people around you also will tell you, do this, do this, do that, and you will follow, and you will not be able to achieve the goal that you want. You become so mentally stressed and so mad at yourself that you will see that you will make you sure that you look like a waste character. Okay. Though you have the knowledge, you cannot use it. Though you have the capability, you cannot use it. What we forget to understand is, it is not the knowledge, it is where you have to use the new knowledge. Where do you acquire the new knowledge? Where do you move yourself to the new place? That is where you have to focus. Generally speaking, we don't focus there, and Rahu takes us for a task. Okay. So there are three nakshatras, Ardra, Swati, and Shatabhisha. Three nakshatras is where Rahu gets his place. So whenever this moon crosses Ardra, you have trouble. Whenever sun crosses this thing in transit, you have trouble. So these are nakshatras where the sun moon gets affected. Okay, apart from the eclipses that are there. So if somebody is born with Rahu in Shatabhisha, for example, his moon is there, probably it will be highly mentally, it will be very challenging for him, because the moon is the mind and it will be there. If Ardra is supposed to be on the, if sun is sitting on the Ardra, most likely that he will be given downtrodden work like washing vessels. Say, sun is something like a king, asking him to go and wash vessels. That's how it will be. You're getting my point. It will be, sun is like, everybody will work for sun. In Rahu Dasa, sun itself will go and do the washing of the vessel, cleaning of the house, and all those things. So that's how Rahu will bring its capability down. Imagine sun is Nicha and Rahu is there. Done. Your life is really done. Okay, in nature. So that's the effect. So how do you overcome that is where your talent works out. Okay, so you have to see all the other parts of it, and then you have to decide where it affects and how do you mitigate it. Okay, it's simple as this. You hate washing vessels. Almost everybody hates washing vessels. But if supposing in Kirtika Nakshatra sun Rahu is sitting there, obviously it is going to give you that kind of a work which is not dignified enough for you. So you will sit and do that work. And the best way to overcome that is, accept that, be happy to do it and do a better job there. Go do a shining job there. Accepting the fact because that's the effect there. Once you realize and do that, once you do it happily that job, you don't see that as a pain. At least you start working out with that. So you need to see where the nakshatra is sitting, in which nakshatra is sitting, what it is going to do in your chart, whether it is in the fifth house, in the sixth house, and whichever how it is going to affect you. Okay, if the sixth house, if it's sitting probably you will not have a job. 10th house also same thing, no job will be there. So fifth house means you will have trouble in having kids. So ancestral property problems. So things like that will come. So you have to identify Rahu, where that Rahu is in which nakshatra and what that nakshatra is trying to tell you. Based on that is what you have to explore. And then you have to, so if supposing if Guru and Rahu are in this vicinity and it's called Guru Chandala Yoga, then again you get into trouble. So you have to look at all the other factors and then you have to analyze and then say. I'll give a brief about it. So now when you look at dasas, so dasa, future, sudden changes. So when it will happen? Whenever there is a dasa bhukti is hitting you, and Rahu dasa or Rahu bhukti, it will hit you. Another thing is when you are looking from ALP astrology perspective, whenever Rahu is ALP is falling on one of these nakshatras, depending on which nakshatra it is falling for which house and how it affects you, because ALP gives you much more in-depth clarity on that. You have to work out certain remedies and then you have to come out of understand what it does. See, what happens is, when does the Rahu help or give you trouble? There will be a certain period in your life where it will give you the maximum trouble, and that will where you will be maximum resistance for you will be there. So that period is what, when you want to identify, it's very difficult to find from Dasa Bhakti, but you can find out much easily using ALP concept. Okay, much easily you can find, and from there you can start working. It's something like we will say, next 1 year it's difficult. For some people will say next 10 years will be difficult. This is because of that concept. That's how it happens. For some people what happens is, they will say, I know my Dasa is very good, Shukra Dasa is very good. So I'm running through, so I'm going to be very low. Guru Dasa is going to be super because next is after Rahu Dasa, Guru Dasa. I'm sorry, it does not happen like that. Sometimes Guru Dasa also gives you very bad time, Shukra Dasa also gives you very bad time. And this is where ALP we found out giving us a lot of insight into the subject. So what happens is we will be able to identify the problem and then we will be able to work along with it. So what is Rahu Dosha? Rahu Dosha is basically related to your ancestors, souls. Probably you didn't, you came into a family which has got this dosas. Brahaspati Hora Shastra, when you read, it talks about 14 types of Pitra doshas. Let's not get into that because that's not my agenda. My agenda is only to tell you Rahu and related doshas and then try to move on. So ninth house in the horoscope is our ancestors, forefathers. It also symbolizes our dharma. So, and your duty towards your ancestors. So when you talk about ninth house as father, and fourth house represents your mother and your foremothers. Okay, and other female ancestors is what the fourth house will indicate. So dosha can arise from any one of this Rahu. Most of the time, Rahu is sitting onto this particular house, ninth or fourth house. Okay, so if it is Ketu also will get more towards the female. If it is what you call Ragu, then it is more towards the male ancestors. So any malefic linked with the ninth house. house itself is the malefic planet, and the ascendant it is sitting. Okay, so all these things will tell you the tough time that the souls are going through, which is affecting your chart. So, and where that is how we say you please do some remedy to get out of this particular problem. Okay, so this is generally, that is why we say Amavasa, you do your Pitru pujas and all those things, you should do one. At least Malay Amavasa, you should do one. And things like that are prescribed and fine. Beauty of it, it's not only in India. In Chinese, they follow it. In Europe, they follow it. They all will go keep flowers on the graveyard. No? Things like that. On seasons, they will keep it. So these are all important days. It happens. Everybody will keep on that. Okay. So how Pitru Dosha is formed? Formed when Sun and Moon in conjunction with Rahu or Ketu. If it's in 6th, 8th, 12th, then it is Pitru Dosha. Okay. You have to be very careful because when you say Sun and Moon 6th, 8th, supposing your Lagna is Dhanusha Lagna. 6th house is what is your Taurus. And that Kritika Nakshatra is there. On that, if Rahu is sitting, that also forms a kind of Pitru Dosha. So you have to find out where it forms. Okay, so what is the kind of effect you will get. So Pitru Dosha can Sun and Rahu with Saturn also will form. Okay, in Saturn, so it will create marriage problems, job problems, career problems, and all those things. And if it's introduced onto the 9th, then obviously that is also there. Malefic in the 9th house. If there is a malefic planet in the 9th, that also indicates Pitru Dosha. So Venus, if Venus and Saturn sitting in the 2nd house, 2nd, 5th, 9th, 12th, that also, Venus also will indicate. That is why Bharani Nakshatra, you will find Pitrus, we will talk a lot about Pitru for Bharani Nakshatra. If you have doubts, you see my Bharani Nakshatra's video. I will be explaining a bit of this, how Shani plays a role there. Okay, so that is also, in fact, some of the chart, the moment we see where is the Venus, we try to find out if there is a Pitru Dosha there. Okay, so the Venus also has got that kind of, and there is a story attached to which I have explained in the Bharani Nakshatra story. So some of the Mercury or Ketan in the 1st or 8th house, that also indicates a Pitru Dosha. Mercury is who? Born between Tarabhai and Moon. Okay, so Tara Devi and Moon. So that why is a illegitimate child. So that also shows Pitru. Father didn't care about this particular kid. Okay, so Sun is the one which took him as this thing and do. Why Sun and Saturn? Again the same. So Sun never teached Saturn. Okay, so that is also malefic. That is why when Sun and Saturn is there in any chart together, then we will say there will be a rift between the father and son. Say about at the age of 33 or whenever Guru passes the 3rd cycle, that time you will find father and son getting splitting from each other for good. Okay, so then you have the 6th and 8th, 12th. Okay, Lord. And Rahu is in the ascendant. That also creates kind of Ketu also will create this kind of a problem. So there are a hell of a set of issues where if you do a combination and see, you will see the Pitru Dosha. Okay, I have described few more things. Depending on how badly it affects you, you will have to see that and then do the appropriate remedial measure. Okay. So some of the remedial measure is some of this mantras. You want, you can write it down, or if you want me to type it down on the comment section, you let me know. I will type it down again. Okay, or you can rewind and read this. These are very standard mantras: Gayatri, Bij mantra, Shanti, Sun over Shanti mantra and Gayatri mantra. They help you a lot. Okay, so all you have to recite at least 108 times with the Bij in hand. Some other thing that you can pray to gods are Ganpati. Okay, all the gods without the human face. Okay, Ganpati, Kali. Okay, so Kali. Okay, Rajarajeshwari, Chandi, Nagadevatas, and Kanni Nagadevatas or Virgin Nagadevatas. Murga, Lord Murga with snake. If you see any ant hill or Puttu we call in Tamil, that place, or Garudalvar. Okay, so all many of the gods without the human face and with the tail. Okay, that's like Narsimar. Okay, these are the gods that you should be able to. And personally, I found out that if you're born in the night, then Kali, Chandi, Naga, they help you a lot. If you're born in the morning time, Ganpati, Rajarajeshwari, Durgai, Durga also helps you. Morning time it helps. Yeah. So you have to pick up gods also based on your what. Then I saw it. It affects and it gives you better results when you pray to these gods. Okay. So let's see Rahu at each and every house. So when you talk about Rahu from the first house. So Rahu in the first house, this placement gives a very strong personality, generally very ambitious, materialistic, cheating kind of this thing. They're a bit dishonored to fulfill their desire. For them, anything doing illegal is okay, fine. As far as I'm getting a materialistic benefit, I am okay with that. That's the kind of attitude these people will have. Supposing Rahu is in the Gemini, and now Gemini itself is resourceless, and Mercury is generally is exalted there. So these people will be highly corrupt in nature. Okay, so you can imagine that. I think I made a video also on that. You can watch it out. And when it comes in the falls in the second, this guy is only thinking about second house, luxury, his own family, enjoyment, status, everything lavishly spending, everything indulge in immortal activities. Okay, so they have a lot of attachment to their family and the wealth that is there. Comes on to third, gives intelligently, he will do a lot of things. Communication skills will be so good. They will try to, siblings, they will try to spoil. We have seen snake eating another snake, right? So that's the kind of attitude they will get. So, but friends will admire him because of his courageousness on the third house, because he will go where nobody else wants to go. Okay, they're very restless. They'll be like jumping here and there. That's the kind of character. They'll be gossiping a lot, telling lies. Lies is part of manipulation. These are all part of Rahu. Rahu in fourth house. So when talks about gives good recognition, authority in life, fourth house. It may gain high professions. Okay, social in politics also it may in the fourth house when it lot of lands, properties, all exposure. He might get all those things provided Rahu is placed in the correct houses. So at the same time, it will create disputes, separations, lots of unhappiness in their life. So he will have a strong attachment to his homeland, culture, religion. These are things that you can find when Rahu is in the fourth house. Fifth house gives a problem with the kid, next generation. Very highly creative. These people when Rahu, they are good for what you call trading up. Trading all, it's a good place. Ups and downs all, and it will give you good effect there. So because trading is taking risk, right? Rahu will do that very well. So marriage will be a bit tough. The normally second marriage, things like that, opposites, gambling, speculation. This all they will do. A bit tough for this guy because their mind will be more than one female is what will be there in their head. When it falls on the sixth, they will win over the enemies. They will fight over. So sixth is good generally, overcome their this, but they will have a lot of loans. They have a lot of. They might have pets at their home. They have health issues, litigations, and depending on which portion of the Rahu is sitting, might give you problems in that area. Okay, supposing if it is sitting on the sun, then father might die during that period, Rahu period. Things like that will happen, depending on up to sixth. So when it comes to sixth or seventh house, when seventh house we are talking about native partnership, marriages, marrying so different religion. He is outcast, right? So he will be marrying who is less than age to him. Like females will marry younger age boys or from some other religion, or they might have second marriage. Things like something that is not normal. They might pick up already married female, ask him to divorce and come and join them. These are things that you can find in when Rahu is in the seventh house. So Rahu in the eighth house, mysteries, occult knowledge will be there. He will have a deep interest in secrecy of life, and he will get a lot of wealth from his forefathers. That's why he has to do Pitru Puja also. He'll get a lot of that. A lot of knowledge he will have, secret knowledge also. So at the same time, he'll have sudden crisis in life. Okay, so he will be hidden to what do you call? He will try to use forbidden things like, if somebody says, if we say don't use elephant tusk because it's illegal, this guy will try to. They don't use tiger or this lion. They'll go and try to find that and try to use that. So this kind of things is what they will do. Okay, black magic and this thing, all this kind. When it comes to the ninth house, native is luck will come, wisdom will be there. See, ninth house, good character, all will come. But when there is a dosha, guru will be there, nice guru they will get, everything will there. But what they will do, when there is a dosha, all this will act negative. Okay, they might go for exotic things, foreign places they might go. They might not go to a regular place, they might go to maybe Muslim countries they might go, because Rahu indicates Muslim country. So they might go to a Muslim country, make friends there, a lot of Muslim friends, things like, or other religion friends. Rahu in 10th is native carrier, generally hardship in carry. If they get success, they'll get high success, provided Rahu does not come in between. So they are likely to say very good, theoretical. Commercially, they might find it very well in Rahu Dasha. In 10th house, okay, so but a lot of opposition, criticism, all those things. They will be involved into all this hanky-panky thing or scandals, all. So that also is possible when Rahu is in the 10th house. Rahu in the 11th house gives good income, fulfillment in life, earns a lot of money, wealth. They have a lot of friends. Elder brother will be good. However, they will also face a lot of fluctuation, instability in life, which is characteristics of Rahu. They might drop him from a very high social status to a downtrodden one. When it comes to Rahu's 12th house, it gives isolation, liberation, enlightenment, all these things it's possible for it to give. So he might even travel to foreign land to settle down. Scared places he might go. He will try to go to Himalayas to get moksha. So a lot of troubles in their life they will see. So they will try to escape. They'll talk about fantasies because he's seeing the universe, right? Not the. So out of this world is what they will see. So all these things you can see. So out of all these houses, all the 12th house will have sudden effects of up and down. So that you have to keep in mind. You cannot just say that this is how it will be there. Okay, so they'll be there. So when it comes to donation, you should try to donate black sesame seed, coconut, blankets, woolen blankets basically, blue color clothes. They are supposed to. So when you are offering black sesame, you either drop in the temple or take to the water, and then you recite Rahu mantra, and then you put it into the flowing water. So that's one way to reduce the negative effect of Rahu. Apart from praying to other goddess that I said earlier. So in summary, pray to Durga, because that's what I pray to, Durga. Reduce your negative energies. So from ALP Lagna also you have to see how Rahu will affect you. As it passes off, it will clear many of your past karmas. And when Guru Dasa hits in, or the next phase in ALP hits in, you will find a tremendous difference in the lifestyle. and a lot of things will be much easier for you, and because you already have experienced so much, so you will be respected for the pain that you have gone through. Okay, so that is what this Rahu Dasa will tell you. So I think that's so much from the Rahu side. There's still more. In fact, I noted down so many points because I study a lot, and I noted down so many points. I can't just cover all those points here. If there's anything specific that you want me to cover in Rahu Dasa, in Rahu's this thing, I'll cover. I'll do a similar thing for Ketu also. So it will work out the opposite way as Rahu works. So we have to see how Rahu can help you to achieve moksha. Once moksha is there, then you are done, right? You don't have to worry about Rahu's this thing. There are so many Rahu Shrapas. So Kala Sharpa is one. Okay. So if all planets are one side of the Rahu Ketu axis, then it's called Kala Sharpa Dosha. Okay. So there are, that is what it is. In that they have subdivisions. Okay. So in that they have subdivision Kala Sharpa. And generally, Kala Sharpa generally Rahu Ketu is seen as DNA. Okay. When the DNA is what it is affects. So whenever you find a mentally challenged kid, so probably the DNA is the problem. You will see Rahu sitting on the mind or wherever the effect is gone. So there are a lot of Sharpa yogas. One is called Ananda Sarpa Yoga, Kalikal Sarpa Yoga, Vasika Sarpa, Vasuki Sarpa Yoga, Sankalpa Kala Sarpa Yoga, okay, Padma Kala Sarpa Yoga, Mahapadma Kala Sarpa Yoga, Nashaka Kala Sarpa Yoga, Narakoda Sarpa, Sankaha Kala Sarpa Yoga, Padahaka Salaga, Vaishya Sarpa Yoga. There are some Nesha Kala Sarpa Yoga. There are so many yogas in that. Okay, so if I start covering up each and every one, I will be doing it forever. So I'm going to stop already. It is 1 hour. I'm going to stop here. If you have any doubts, comment on the bottom and let me know. So I will do Ketu for the after a couple of days and then see how it works. Thanks for listening. Do comment and have a great day. Don't be afraid of Rahu. Just follow his rules. It will help you out. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.